Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I talk all about weight loss. I lost 130 pounds myself and I try to help you guys out with your own weight loss journeys. I have been absent from YouTube for a while and I am coming back officially. And honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I have been going through a really tough time. I've been dealing with some personal things and unfortunately I did gain weight. I made a video about me gaining weight a couple months prior and I already expected this to happen to me, and I dealt with a lot of different types of struggles going through a weight gain journey, but fortunately I was able to lose all of the weight that I gained, and I'm so excited to share my methods of weight loss and how I lost weight fast. I wasn't on keto, I wasn't doing anything special. I was honestly just eating in a calorie deficit and having a very simple exercise routine, and I was still able to shed the weight off. I lost 130 pounds about 2 years ago and I kept it off almost this entire time. However, last year was very hard for me. I was going through a bit of a depression. I was living in a different state. I didn't have any friends and I was around my dad, who has recently passed, and he was sick. About a year ago, I almost broke my legs. I tore my hamstrings completely and I messed up my right knee, and it prohibited me from doing any type of intense exercising, and I fell into a bit of a depression because I wasn't able to keep up the same intensity of exercise that I was doing before. The way that I was able to maintain my weight during this time, since I couldn't exercise a lot, was by basically just eating in a calorie deficit, and that worked for me. I wanted to start exercising again and I wanted to improve my body and I didn't want to lose my results, so I was researching how do I basically repair an injury, or one of the hardest injuries to overcome. And the only thing that I could really find was rehabilitation, getting massages or any type of therapeutic treatment, and on top of that, eating more calories to put mass onto my body again, to be able to build muscle and fat in the areas that I was lacking. I also moved to another state and I was living with my dad, who is unfortunately not with us anymore, but he was sick. He was very ill, and because I couldn't work out as hard as I wanted to, and because I was just in this atmosphere, I became very, very depressed. I decided that I wanted to do something and change my circumstances, and I wanted to get better and I wanted to get healthier. Even though I was sad and I wasn't really doing well emotionally, I still had the discipline and the motivation to be able to change my circumstances and to do better for myself. So I knew that I had to gain some weight to be able to fix the issues that were wrong in my body. I made a couple videos about this a while ago. I didn't start gaining weight until December of last year, so December 2020, and I considered it all in, basically meaning eating how you want to with no restriction. I want to go all in because I am trying to reset my body. I injured myself and I have been just strictly fasting, eating right, which is perfectly fine, which is good, but it's causing me mental stress, and that mental stress is coming through my body physically. And if I want to eat pizza, I'm gonna eat it. I started eating sugar again and I feel good. But then I actually got on a specific weight gain diet where I was eating a surplus of protein every single day. I do eat some starch, so I'll either eat potatoes or rice or something like that with a salad, and then these patties. This is what we're working with over here. I just have some brown rice and then I have the two patties. They're just medium size and they don't really taste like ground beef, of course not, because they're plant-based, but they do definitely fill you up, and this is how I would usually get my protein. And this is what I use to get my protein in. This is usually my main source of protein, along with any plant-based protein that I use, but this is usually where I get about 140 grams of protein a day from drinking this. I was eating around 160 grams of protein every single day, and usually people who are trying to build muscle or gain muscle mass or gain weight in general do this, and that's what I did in efforts to help build some muscle back into my legs, back into my body, because my muscles had atrophied from being injured. But I have been dealing with this injury for months since March, since the beginning of this year, and it has been very difficult for me. My weight is still in the 150s and the 160s, but that is actually a problem for me. I came out with a video about a week or two ago talking about OMAD and exactly what I eat in a day now, and basically people are like, how are you eating this right now if you talk about weight loss? And it is because I'm trying to gain weight at the moment. I have to gain weight and rebuild the strength back in my legs and then lose it again and get fit like I was, but it is going to take me some months. So this is where I showed you guys that I started eating carbs again. I started eating high amounts of protein. I started eating starches. I started eating oatmeal, rice, beans, pancakes, and protein shakes every single day. And to my surprise, this actually worked. I am kind of upset that I gained weight, but I'm so glad that I lost it. And I'm so glad that I did go on a weight gain journey, because if I didn't, I would have not been able to exercise like I can now. With any type of weight gain, there are downsides to it. You feel bloated all of the time, your body changes, you're not as muscular. Keep in mind that I was gaining weight to be able to put on more muscle mass, but I couldn't really exercise at the same intensity as I was before. So I started gaining weight, but not really becoming fit, just putting on fat and somewhat some muscle. Because I started eating more, my hormones, my hunger signals started becoming kind of out of control. My body is really not used to not dieting or eating sugar or large amounts of carbs. So gaining weight and going through a weight gain journey, eating, or at least trying to eat whole food, turned into me eating like cookies and frappuccinos and ice blended drinks and sugar with coffee inside of it. And this started creating somewhat type of health complications for me. I started having really bad anxiety because I was mixing coffee and sugar together almost every single day. I was also experiencing high blood pressure for the first time in my life. I remember I would be trying to go to sleep and I would literally feel my heart beating and just like feel anxiousness, and I've never felt that before, and I started getting concerned for my health. Even though gaining 25 pounds is not really considered overweight for my height and the current weight that I'm at, still gaining weight was starting to create health issues for me because I was doing it so rapidly, and I started feeling so uncomfortable in my skin. I started becoming unfit. I saw things that I had lost or I thought I had lost when I first lost weight come back. The shape of my body was changing. I was not liking the way that I was looking. Fast forward, I gained about 20 to 25 pounds, and when I gained this weight, the pain in my legs stopped. I got stronger within my legs, and I built a lot of mass in my legs. As you can see, I'm gonna show photos throughout this video, but I gained a lot of mass inside of my legs, and it actually helped me with the pain and with my athletic performance later on because they are so much physically stronger. I was looking at myself in the mirror and I realized how out of shape I had gotten, and I would cry. I would look at myself and be like, I do not like my body. I do not like what I see. I started reminding myself, you know what? I disciplined myself before. I've lost weight before. I've gotten fit before. I've been through a lot of stuff. This is just an obstacle, and I'm gonna be able to do this again. But I'm not gonna do it the first way that I did it. I'm not gonna do it on keto. I'm not gonna do any type of super restrictive diet. I'm going to basically pace my body. But to my surprise, I was able to lose weight fast and lose the weight again in 1 month. So the first thing that I did was basically get motivated and inspired again. I had to do things that made me happy and watch videos that made me happy and fill my brain with positivity. I think when we're sad about the way that we look or the way that we feel about ourselves, we gravitate towards negativity instead of inspiring ourselves or finding inspiration in the first place. So I knew what I had to do was change the way that I thought, changed my thinking process, and that's exactly what I did. I started discovering new ways to lose weight, watching new weight loss videos, trying to unprogram my mind. I had kind of developed a sugar addiction again because I was eating so much to kind of combat the depression that I was feeling during the time. So instead of eating regular sugar, I switched it to unprocessed sugar, so just fruit. So anytime that I wanted to eat something that was really sugary, I would eat fruit instead of that. I didn't cut off carbs completely. What I did was basically eat healthier carbs, or carbs that had multi-purpose. So usually if we eat like French fries or something, those are just plain starches. It has no nutritional benefit. I would eat chickpeas or beans or brown rice instead of eating something that didn't have any benefit to it. Instead of eating these heavy carbohydrates that have high calories and no nutrition, I would eat whole grains if I wanted some bread or if I wanted some carbs. So I stuck to oatmeal, I stuck to whole grain bread, and as I mentioned before, rice. As far as exercising goes, I did not want to push my body too much because I was trying to get fit again, and literally I couldn't even run a mile a couple months ago, and I couldn't believe it because even though I only gained about 25 pounds, I was just not fit. I tried to not put any stress on my body. Basically walked a lot and did a lot of cardio, and I ran and I walked. So basically I would go on a mile walk in the morning time, and usually with my dog, and then I would go and work out about 2 to 3 miles on the treadmill, no incline. Like I said, I wasn't trying to stress myself out, just get active again and build up that stamina. And then around 7, 8, because it is May, June, it's a little bit hot outside, I did walk another mile right before I went to sleep. Another thing that I tried to do is jump roping. I just got back into jump roping because I was injured previously. It was very difficult for me to jump rope every other day, but now the flooring in my apartment and just different equipment that I have also allowed me to jump rope, and you only need to do this for about 25 to 30 minutes a day, and that's what I usually do as well. I also intermittent fasted. This is my go-to, and I am a big supporter of intermittent fasting. Everybody knows this. So I basically tried to do the warrior diet, which is 20 hours to 4-hour fasting, or OMAD. I still stuck to that every single day, and I also think that was the way that I lost weight. So just to summarize everything, I had carbs and I had whole grains. I had fruit if I wanted to eat sugar, and I ate 1,500 or 1,400 to 1,800 calories every single day. I fasted for 20 hours a day and ate for only 4, but I didn't restrict myself. I allowed myself to have certain foods. I did not stress myself out with my exercise routine. I'm going to try to make more what I eat in a day videos that are surrounded around eating in a calorie deficit rather than a certain diet, because yes, back in the day, I did lose 100 pounds on the ketogenic diet. However, it isn't the only way that I lost weight. There are different ways to lose weight, and this video is an example of that. I have meal plans down below, and I will also be coming out with a 1,500 calorie meal plan that has meals like this. I'm working on it right now, but it will be out probably within a month, and you can get that for yourself. It's going to include sugar and carbs in it, and it's going to be different than the other 2 meal plans I have. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.